Hey Gemini, it's your girl Jay, the High Priestess, back at it again with the general reading for Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising for Aries season 2022. Welcome to the new year. Welcome to the start of 2022, and you kick off this new year with your ruling planet debilitated in Pisces. And so you got only a week. You got 1 week of Mercury in Pisces hitting you with the deep kumbaya shit before it's getting real. Mercury at Aries, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Hydrate. Yeah, it's gonna come up. Light it if you got it. Hydrate. Gemini, y'all rule the lungs, and I want you to empty yours. And then take a deep breath when you're ready. Because when the shut the fuck up phase of the season hits, these are when the tests, the karmic tests are coming in. I'm telling you, this is what we've trained for. Is this still how you want to communicate? Is this how you want to be talked to, spoken to, dealt with? Because some of you, I feel like it's a test and you're really learning how to pull back, how to it's like don your pearls, like you're really learning some decorum. And then there's some motherfuckers you need to tell to shut the fuck up to. That's check your sun, moon, and rising. Patreon gets everything first. Patreon.com/justjeverything. For daily content, check out my Instagram, justj_everything, and for TikTok at justjeverything. And for other dope shit that I do, my website, justjeverything.com. Everything is below in the description box, so check that shit out. And I do feel like that first week of Aries season, you are really going to be forced to wade in the emotional, spiritual waters that are a bit unfamiliar, that have been unfamiliar all year. You very much so are beginning the new year really, really wrapping up 2021. Really, really heavy. It feels like a heavy hitting kind of energy. And that's why you're finding so much new language for your beliefs, your faith. You're able to articulate yourself and your beliefs and your faith in a different way. And that's why you come heavy hitting swinging in Aries season. Once Mercury, your ruling planet, goes into Aries on the 27th of March, it's very easy for you to it's like you know when dogs get wet and they shake off the water? It's like you're shaking off Pisces season. You're shaking off 2021. That's how it feels like. And you're shaking off the excess, and what remains gives you the audacity, gives you the language, the ability to just, hey, this is what it is. Allowing yourself to be really, really direct to everyone. It's new year, new me, new thought process, new clarity. So, excuse me and all of my allergies. I've got water in my ears right now. I just took a shower. So when Mercury enters Aries on March 27th, it's really about you getting all the audacity back. And then, you are gonna at some point have to watch your words, watch your tone, watch your delivery, please, for the rest of us. It's you'll know when. But you'll also be able to discern very easily who you need to verbally pop off to. I don't know. Someone needs to get it, and that's That's for you to discern. And it doesn't necessarily mean you being ugly. It probably will be, but it doesn't like mean that you have to be, it doesn't have to be ugly. But I do feel like you are going to be hyper aware of what boundaries you need to enforce, because this is very much so like, who the fuck are you now? Who are you trying to be? Are you embodying who you're trying to be? And that could be something that you're needing to say to other people, like, who are you? What are you trying to be to me? Who are you trying to be? What's going on? What you trying to be? Who said that to? Anyway, that's the thing. On April 1st, there is the new moon in Aries. I'll do a separate video for that, of course, but this is definitely a time for you to plant these new seeds of who you are. What do you need to get more disciplined or structured about? What do, evaluating your relationship to authority, evaluating your relationship to masculinity, because this is the divine masculine season. And we are finally like coming into divine masculine season. This is cardinal fire. And it's important for you to welcome in the challenge of becoming your best self. You're worth it. On April 2nd, the sun will be conjuncting with Mercury, meaning they'll be meeting at the same degree in Aries. And this is a great time on April 2nd to be social, to get out in the world, to network, to really, let your little social butterfly wings flap around and getting back to like feeling like you again, really. That's the big thing. Mercury is hella active while it's in Aries. There's a lot of aspects that it's making, and so I feel like you're coming in contact with a lot of different energies. All the Mercury aspects, there are so many I don't even really want to list them all, but they are all very much so about propelling you forward. In Aries season, we get all of Aries season with no retrogrades. And it's been like that for a minute now. We don't get any retrogrades until Pluto retrogrades in Capricorn and Taurus season on the 29th of April. And so all systems are a go. And I feel like all the mercurial aspects are really going to have you feeling more like yourself and feeling bold and brave to connect with other people, to socialize, and to like really sell it, whatever that is for you. On April 10th, Mercury will be going into Taurus, and you finally can like slow down and savor. Slow down and stack up. I feel like you'll really be learning the power of your force and the power of how to think before you speak here, and it'll show. The damage that could possibly be done with Mercury in Aries, I feel like you're going to have the time to really learn those lessons while Mercury is in Taurus. Hopefully you don't have any big lessons to learn from, and you can really trust yourself to stand up for yourself and to discern what is appropriate or not, or inappropriate for you. On April 16th, we have the full moon in Libra, and I'll do a separate video on that as well, but it's giving all the new and updated me versus we things, what needs to be released, what needs to be let go. So we'll do separate videos on that. And lastly, on April 17th, we have Mercury, a ruling planet, conjuncting Uranus in Taurus. And so they're going to be together at the same degree in Taurus. And so it's very one foot before the other. You're definitely going to be bursting with ideas and bursting with things to say. And this is a period where you really get to revolutionize your life. You really get to welcome in the new year and really have like this Ace of Pentacles. Yes, it's like you are out of that period of recovery, out of that period of patience and slowing down, and this new chapter that's coming in, it's really going to, like, you can leap forward. There's so, it feels like so little like filtering yourself. So deep breath, light it if you got it, Gemini, hydrate. So we're asking our benevolent ancestors and asking Mother God, Father God, Mother Earth for the most useful, helpful, And divinely aligned messages for Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising for Aries season 2022. First card out is King of Pentacles reversed. Interesting. So first thing to be clarified on the Selenite throne is have you been superficial? Are you being around people that you have to keep it very surface with? Are you tired of keeping things on the surface? Are you tired of the materialism or tired of the Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn? There may be someone that I feel like is just inspiring you to want more, to go deeper. I do feel like be careful of being materialistic. Be careful of caring too much about your possessions. That especially when Mercury goes into Taurus, you don't want to end up saying a lot, and you just end up like alone with your belongings, alone with your possessions. You've got all your things, yet no one to share them with. And so some of you could be really entering a point, Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising, where you're starting to really not care so much about the possibly superficial things that you used to care about. You want more, you want deeper. Especially after Mercury has been in Pisces. It's going to show you that the surface shit isn't where it's at. And that you are capable and hungry for so much more. And maybe done with this, done, 10 of Swords, done with this person that has kept you looping in an old version of yourself. Yes, 5 of Cups reversed. I feel like some of you are finally over someone. Someone has finally shown you who they are. Some of you finally seeing the truth of or the source of some of your depression or your anxiety or your fear of intimacy or fear of trusting other people. It's very much so like you've been looping in the mind. Looping in the mind about maybe some painful things that someone said. Maybe some of you are feeling betrayed by how long you stayed in this relationship or this job or this workplace. There's maybe some of you tried something, some entrepreneurial pursuit, and maybe it didn't go the way that you thought that it was going to go. I feel like be careful of the whole I'm a failure bit. You are not a failure. Everything requires trial and error in order to learn. That's how your brain works. That's how the actual mechanism of your brain works is trial and error. And so of course if you learn that way on the micro level, you're going to learn that way on the macro level, and that's how lessons are provided. That's how this game is set up. We've got to try. That didn't work. Okay, get up. That didn't work. Okay, maybe if I do it this way. Okay, yeah, that worked. Okay, keep doing things this way. Okay, maybe I tweak it a little bit because this feels, you know what I mean? I feel like you're really learning. So let yourself have the trial and error. But what I do know is that the version of you that was wounded or doesn't trust or has been this version of you, so it's weird. Okay, some of you, I feel like you gnawed off a limb to get out of this situation, and you're still learning how to function without the limb. Some of you, you're like, fuck, the limb is growing back. I didn't know I could do that. I didn't know I could regenerate. Some of you, this Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn that you've been trying to shake off, I feel like it's finally it's just I'm done beating the dead horse. I get it. I feel like your body won't even let you get into this anymore. It could be someone that maybe held money over your head or used to someone that someone is just something is just done. And it's caused a lot of pain. I feel like and the pain that it caused, you survived that, and the survivor version or this wounded version of you no longer needs to be in the driver's seat anymore, babe. It's Aries season. So now that you've endured this, who are you now? Who are you now? And trust and believe the divine is giving you the physical, spiritual, sexual, intellectual energy that you're going to need to regenerate, to grow this limb back. Yes, you, King of Cups, coming in and really being an emotional support for yourself. Whatever happens with this betrayal, this wounding, or this outdated way of thinking, these limited beliefs about yourself, this negative self-talk, whatever it is, it's putting you in a position now where I feel like come Aries season, especially come like the middle of Aries season, you're firmly footed in your beliefs and your capabilities. You know who you are. You're more connected to your spirit, more connected to your creativity. There are also maybe someone new that's coming in, maybe with Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio placements, that's really inspiring you to heal, or is maybe reminding you, like triggering you to like, it's like they're triggering you to your own ways, or like you're triggering yourself, like you being forced to interact with people, because like I said, your planet is quite busy. And so I do feel like we already got two kings out. It's like with the Ten of Swords in there. So dating multiple people and putting yourself out there so much may not be like the fix anymore. You may not enjoy socializing the way that you do. You may be choosing or learning the real like value of quality over quantity now. And some of you, you are used to just giving yourself options because the options are always there. And with Jupiter and Neptune in Pisces right now, we as a collective are going to learn that just because you can doesn't mean you should. Just because you can doesn't mean you should. So for some of you, there are definitely options coming in, options in love, options in friends, options in job opportunities, options in clientele. I feel like some of you are learning what kind of clients you don't want to deal with anymore. Some of you are really learning what kind of, like, which manager not to fuck with anymore, which maybe like group or gym not to go to anymore or something, or which grocery store not to. You also, I feel like, are minding where you put your money now. I feel like that's a big thing. Like, I feel like some of you are like, I'm done with Amazon, and you're going to buy local, and you're going to really like pay attention to like what you do, use the power of your dollar. You're going to really like, some of you can really start something there. There may be some great ideas that are born out of big business burning you in some sort of way. That is definitely not for everybody, but that's random. That came through. Nice. Final two cards, lovely, are the Judgment and the Nine of Pentacles with the Hierophant reversed on the bottom of the deck. And I love that, because what this says for Aries season, you guys are really, really healing the past. You're really in the pain that you have dealt with, the disappointment, the confusion that you dealt with. It is really helped like graduate you, like elevate you in some sort of way. It's put you in the position where you're ready to like, you're like listening to your intuition, you're listening to your spirit, you're listening to this calling on your life. And I feel like a lot of you have finally figured out, my fucking calling was not a conference call, and I don't need this shit to make sense to anybody but me and the God of my understanding. Your opinion means fuck all to me. And maybe that's where the shut the fuck up comes in. I love this. I found it on TikTok. This girl that I follow, she's like, if you don't go to our church, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up if you don't go to our church. And if you're not like into what I'm into, shut the fuck up. Who cares? If what I do is not for you, bye. You don't have to be in my energy. I didn't ask for your input, or I didn't ask for your opinion. You know what I mean? I do feel like some of you are just really like, you're really being an emotional support to people. You've been an emotional support to some very like selfish people, and now I feel like you're finally learning how to be an emotional support to yourself. You are absolutely like leveling up, and I feel like you've earned your stripes in some way. I feel like be careful of letting yourself get cold or calloused or unreadable. But I do feel like the divine is like finally calling you out of autopilot. You're really ascending in a different way. Your spiritual gifts are taking off. Your ideas are going to start taking off, and they're providing financial freedom. There's some sort of independence that comes in. And do you feel like you really finally like learned the lessons that you needed to learn from this Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn? And it's putting you in a position where you're like, you don't care about the tradition. You don't care about what everybody in the community or everybody in the family or in the culture has to say. You're doing it your way. This feels sovereign. This feels independent. And I feel like when Mercury eventually goes into Taurus on April 10th, that's going to be a really, really potent time for you guys. Now, I feel like money is on the up and up, though you may walk into Aries season or this new year really being like questioning money, questioning, can I do this on my own? Maybe you spent more money on courses or going back to school or something. Maybe something didn't go the way you needed it to, and you need to go back to school. I feel like allowing yourself to study more is really important. Allowing yourself to get in like the non-traditional the non-traditional education, or learning something like the untraditional way, or learning things that would be appalling to your family or appalling to your church or to your previous previous church or the whatever you were associated with before. Some of you are getting divorced. Some of you are leaving long-term relationships. Some of you are finally getting like karma from these breakups, or like things are finally like, or someone's getting their karma. I say a lot of you, but flip it if it's not you. There could be someone else with Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius placements that's inspiring you to like, yo, pay attention to like, it's time to upgrade your thought process. It's time to upgrade this process or these policies and procedures that you have in place in regards to who has access to you, and like what are you being motivated by, Gemini. I do feel like there are some of you are in a position where you have two people to choose from, and you are not sure of which way to go. And I feel like you are ignoring the fact that it's like you may be wanting to go with the one that may be less attractive or have less money, but it's like what your spirit is telling you. And pay attention, because money and looks, all that shit, it comes and goes. And so you've got to really do your part to learn like what's going on with these people's hearts, what's going on with your true intentions, because judgment coming out says a big decision is coming in. There could be legal news coming in, legal situations that lead to independence, that lead to maybe more money, maybe a bonus coming in. I feel like you listening to your calling ends up putting you in a position to lead a very purpose-driven life, and that purpose-driven life is going to get you paid. Working for God has been the most lucrative thing I've ever done. And lucrative, not just like in money. It's been, you know what I mean? There's like so many other layers to like what one receives and how one is paid. It's not just about this fucking fake thing and concept called like money. Money is just an energy. And you can attract that shit to you, but you also can repel it, you know, based on what you believe about it. And I do feel like you are trying something different. Your values are shifting. Your ethics are shifting. It's important for you to break free of whatever status quo, whatever has a hold on you. There is something about breaking free from this outdated way of thinking, of this old version of you, whatever's been restricting you in the realm of your mind and whatever's been keeping you quiet, or maybe if there's been someone that's been controlling you with money, controlling your aesthetic, controlling what you do with your body, possibly in some sort of way, controlling you because you're legally bound to them, or there's some kind of guardianship or something of that nature. I feel like shit is really shifting. And with the King of Cups in the center of the reading, it tells me that you're learning profound lessons from some very old pain. And it's going to put you in this position to, I feel like, really listen to the divine and listen to your spirit and listen to your instincts and trust them, actually. Just like, fuck listening to them. You actually trusting them and acting on them puts you in a position where you get to speak things that, like, big truths that need to be spoken. Remember I told you there was something about the shut the fuck up? Judgment card is a very powerful truth being spoken. So for some of you, there is an altercation. For some of you, there is something to say. Maybe it's with a boss. Maybe it's someone that has done very well for themselves. Maybe this is a very snooty, like Karen kind of energy, possibly. But I do feel like you are, if that has been you, you're being broken out of that snotty, like Karen, materialistic, bougie bitch, like energy. Because that shit's not fucking cute. I feel like you're coming into a place of being really humble, coming into a place of being generous, but you've got to understand that, like, you're having deep, profound lessons in your worthiness and what your value is. Because you're finally, I feel like, letting go of this old self-image and finally putting in the work to really understand that you are valued on so much more than how you look, how big your anything, whatever it is, how much money you got in the bank, or how many cars, or how many Gucci that, you know, it's just like, it's like you finally are learning that your value is not based on what you do for people or how good you look or your aesthetic or how kind you are. It's like the fabric of your soul is so much deeper than that. And I also feel like this proverbial, you know, for lack of a better phrase, is like come to Jesus that you're having, where you're getting out of survival mode, your mind is getting out of survival mode, puts you in a position where you can really think with your spirit, think with your heart, and you can really make important choices, and you can confidently speak your truth. And you doing that may mean you being alone for a while. All of these cards are solitary, except for the one that's communicating with the divine. Some of you may need time, regardless if you're in a relationship or if you're single. Some of you just may be upping the quality of your alone time and upping the quality of your connection with spirit, upping the quality of your like rituals and how you take care of your physical body. I feel like taking care of your physical body is really, really important. I also feel like harnessing your relationship to some of you may be clairaudient, some of you may be like hearing, that may be intensifying. You may be hearing like thinking that you're hearing voices or thinking that you're going crazy, and like finally you're just starting to like trust, like, okay, like I have access to something bigger than myself, you know, that's what's going on. And so I feel like also some of you are willing to talk about it. Some of you are ready to go to therapy. Some of you are ready to reach for the tools to have a healthier mental health. I feel like checking as I talk about mental health, my paranoia flares. And so I feel like there is this there may be somebody with Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn that pulls back, or you pull back from them. I feel like what I really feel like is that it's over and you finally learn your lesson and you finally get to stand on your own 2 feet. And it's like you get to shed the insecurity that these people placed in your mind. You get to shed these like negative fears or this disbelief. Some of you have people that like say that they love you, but they don't fucking support a thing that you do. And you're like, how can you love me if you don't support me? There may be somebody specifically with Scorpio placements, I feel like, coming in and giving you a big truth, or that maybe they're helping you discover something. There's like a deep intoxication or a deep realization that's coming by way of scorpionic energy. When we do have the retrograde in Taurus season, it's going to be Pluto retrograding in Capricorn. And so I do feel like there's more exposures coming in about how you want to make money, what you want to be known for, what you want your reputation to be. But ultimately, Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising for Aries season, switch it up. It's time to do it a different way. Some of you are breaking free from like monogamy, breaking free from religion, breaking out of old rules or dogmatic patterns. Some of you are leaving old groups, leaving old jobs, and it's just time to like start pursuing joy. It's time to start being like governed by your spirit. It's time to start being like, it's like being drawn. It's a very Aries thing, like also where it's just like leaning into like letting your spirit, letting your fire, letting your instinct just lead. And so knowing that difference and that fine line between being led by your spirit, but also hedonism, and also, you know what I mean? There is a fine line there. So I do feel like the closer you get towards Taurus season, it is going to get way more hedonistic, and it should, because you've earned, I feel like a lot of you have earned it. And there is like this luxury. I feel like those of you who have earned it, you'll know that you earned it because you're going to be reaping rewards. Absolutely. And you'll be feeling very confident, feeling very satisfied in what you're doing. The money that you come doesn't feel empty. It doesn't feel vapid. You don't feel like after you get it. I feel like once you're really in tune with what your calling is and what it is for you, what like awakens you, there's nothing but freedom, space, opportunity, and like fun that gets to come in. So who you trying to be? I love you. For the full version of the video, go to Patreon.